So we can proceed from where we left in our previous class. And we did up to what we call the risk analysis and capital budgeting. And we did on the decision tree. We also did on the sensitivity analysis and also on what we call the replacement analysis. I mean the simulation analysis. Now for that, I also gave you a question which I had also told you go and take on it. It was a question in November 2017. So I don't know whether you managed to go through that question. Did you manage to go through the question? You didn't. Now let's me first cover what we're supposed to cover today, then we can check on that. Now, my topic today will be on what we call the financial derivatives. Financial derivatives. That is what I want to cover today. Then time allows, you'll be able to check on that question. Time allows, we'll be able to check on the question. Now, when we talk about derivatives, we are talking about what we call the financial instruments, which are derived from one or more variable, and this is a variable known as what we call the underlying. When we talk about an underlying here, we generally talking about an asset. So basically, it's only that most of these derivatives are not traded in Kenya. So when I talk of derivatives, we are talking about the options. We are talking about the futures, talking about what we call the forwards. We're also talking about what we call the swaps. Those are what we call derivatives. And mostly when you go to these banks, they don't trade them. What they trade mostly is about the bonds. Now, in our concern in this case, we'll be able to know how in this case, what we mean when we talk about options. How can we price an option? What do we mean when we talk about what we call the forwards? How can we also value the forwards? And again, what do we mean when we talk about the futures? So just right there, and I hope you have the notes. Because most of these I will just be referring to the notes. I shared with you, you go to a topic we call the International Financial Management. On that topic is where we'll be able to see on the theoretical part of derivatives. Now, let's begin by just saying derivatives. Just introduced by saying derivatives are financial instruments. Financial instruments whose value is derived. Financial instruments whose value is derived from one or more basic variable, from one whose value is derived from one or more basic variables, known as the underlying, known as the underlying, or what we call asset, known as the underlying or asset. So that is what we mean when we talk about derivatives. You can just talk of economic functions of derivatives. Economic functions of derivatives. Economic functions of derivatives. Economic functions of derivatives. Number one is determining the prices, which is now what we'll be able to do, determining the prices. Number two is to transfer risk. And this is mainly through what we call the hedging to transfer risk. Number three, say, checking the speculations, checking the speculation. Number four, encouraging entrepreneurial activities, encouraging entrepreneurial activities, encouraging entrepreneurial activities, entrepreneurial activities. And then number five, to encourage savings and investment, to encourage savings and investment. Now let's talk about what we call the participants in the derivative market. Participants in derivative markets. Participants in the derivative markets. Number one, we have talk of the hedgers. The hedgers. And just say these are participants who enter. These are participants who enter in the market. So participants who enter in the market to minimize. Participants who enter in the market to minimize risk. To minimize risk. Now, basically, this is now from what we call hedging. Now, when you talk about hedging, it's just a mechanism to reduce risk. Are we together? Now, in our case, we'll be able to see this when we've been doing what we call the money market. So, when in this case, probably you have imported goods outside this country and you are waiting to receive. Are we together? So you'll be able to know how in this case you can be able to hedge. Hedging receipts and also on what we call the hedging payments. This is now to determine what we call the gain that you'll be able to receive, or where is it that you'll be able to receive more. Are we together? Are we together? We'll be talking about two arrangements here. There is what we call a forward arrangement, and there is also what we call a money market arrangement. So an investor can use a forward arrangement, or he can use what we call a money market arrangement. But the thing is, where is he going to be able to receive more if it's a receipt? Or where is he going to pay less if in this case he's going to do what? To pay. Are we together? So that is what we have here. So their main focus here, or the main focus of hedgers here, is mainly on what we call the savings. So what they are focusing on, they want to minimize risk in order to do what? Save. You can just illustrate or right there and say, hedging is a mechanism. Hedging is a mechanism. Hedging is a mechanism to reduce the price risk. It's a mechanism to reduce the price risk. It's a mechanism to reduce the price risk. So that is the past participants in the derivative market. Number two, we have what we call the speculators. Speculators. Speculators, see? These are participants who enter derivative markets. These are participants who enter derivative markets, who enter derivative markets to make profits. To make profits. To make profits. So those are now what we call the speculators. So that means in order for them to be, because their main focus is to make profits, in order for them to make that profit, then they will be willing to accept any kind of what? Risk. Are we together? That is the speculators. Number three is what we call the arbitrators. Arbitrators. Number 3 is what we call the arbitrageurs. See, these are speculators. These are speculators who are interested in short-term gains. These are speculators who are interested. These are speculators who are interested in short-term gains. In short-term gains. In short-term gains, thereby making profits out of, therefore making profits out of price fluctuations. Thereby making profits out of price fluctuation. So as I said, arbitrageurs are also the speculators. The main purpose of them is also to make what? So, but in this case, the short-term what? Profit. That is, those are the participants in the derivatives markets. Now let's talk about the types. Types of derivatives. Types of derivatives. Now we have 4 types of derivatives. But one is what we call the options. Number 2, we have the forwards. Forward contracts. You also have the futures. And the last one is what we call the swaps. Forward, future contracts, and what we call the swaps. Now, if now in this case, this is basically on a unit in STIFA. We call it the derivative analysis. If you want to understand more of this, here we normally categorize them into 2. There is what we call the forward commitments, and there is what we call the contingent claims. Now, forward commitments in this case is for this one, the first one we base it or we categorize it on the class we call the contingent claims. This one is under what we call the forward commitments. So basically what I'm trying to mean in this case is that derivatives, we strictly or broadly classify them into 2. There is what we call the forward commitments, and there is what we call the what? Contingent claims. So, however, for that, for you in that case, you are not required to understand more of the same. Now, let's just begin with what we call the options. Let's begin with what we call the options. Options. Now, you can begin by saying that an option is a contract which gives. An option is a contract which gives the buyer. The contract which gives the buyer or the seller. A contract which gives the buyer or the seller the right, but not obligation. Right, but not obligation. Right, but not obligation to buy or sell securities. To buy or sell securities. Buy or sell securities at a specified future date. At a specified future date. At a predetermined price. The specified future date at a predetermined price. Now, when we talk about an option in this case, we've said it's a contract that we give the buyer. Now, when you're buying securities, in this case, we talk of it going long. So, when you are selling securities in derivatives, we call it going short. So in this case, it gives either the buyer or the seller an option or the right, but not an obligation to sell or buy a security at a future date at a predetermined price. This is what I mean. You're going to determine the price today, but the delivery will be in what? Future. Are we together? That is what we mean when we talk about an option. Now, this predetermined price is not what we call the exercise price. In other cases, we talk of it as the strike price. Or in other cases, you can talk of it as what? Striking price. Striking price. So, then in options here, we talk of the party to the contract will incur a non-refundable fee we call the premium. So that means in this case, if you get the value of the option, then you want to determine the profit that the buyer will have to make. You'll have to less the what? This unrefundable fee that the party to the contract will have to incur. So right and say the predetermined price, the predetermined price is known as the exercise price, strike price. It is known as the exercise price or the strike price. The strike price. Right, and say the party to the contract incurs, the party to the contract incurs a non-refundable fee. Party to the contract incurs a non-refundable fee known as the premium. Known as the premium. Now, types of options. Number one, we have what we call the what? Number one is the call option. The call option. Now, for the call option, this one gives the right to the buyer. So this one we're talking about the buyer. There is a put option where we now be talking about the seller. So you can just write and say on the call option, you say, this is a financial contract. This is a financial contract which gives the buyer, the financial contract which gives the buyer the right, gives the buyer the right, but not an obligation, right? But not an obligation to acquire given number of securities, to acquire a given number of securities, to acquire a given number of securities. Say, value of a call option is determined as follows. Value of a call option is determined as follows. Value of a call option is determined as follows. So this will be maximum of the MPN, that is the price of the share. You compare with what we call zero. Maximum of MPS minus the exercise price. If I talk of E, that is the exercise price. Compare with zero. So what I mean in this case, maximum is whichever is I. So zero and the value that you get from there. That is what will be the value of what? Value of a call. So all you can write this VC is what we call the value of a call. MPS is the price of the market price per share. Market price per share, which is also the spot rate. Market price per share, which is the spot rate. E is the exercise price. Exercise price. Now, if you want to get the profit or loss, then I say you will deduct what? What we call the premium. I say this is the amount that the party to the contract will incur, which is the non-refundable. That is what we call a call option. Number two, we have what we call the put option. Number two, we have what we call the put option. Put option. Okay. This is a financial contract. It's a financial contract which gives the seller a financial contract which gives the seller is a financial contract which gives the seller right but not obligation, right but not obligation, right but not obligation to sell an asset or securities, sell an asset or securities in the future. Sell an asset or securities in the future. Sell an asset or securities in the future at a predetermined price. At a predetermined price. At a predetermined price. Now, get now the value of the put. Value of the put option. Value of the put option will be given by the maximum of exercise price minus MPS. You compare with the zero. Therefore, to get the profit here or loss will be the value of the put option. You minus what we call the what? Premium. Minus the premium. Can just have an example, right? Just have an example. Wait and see. Suppose. Just write and say an example. Okay. Suppose a security has an exercise price. Security has an exercise price of 30 shillings. Exercise price of 30 shillings. With a premium of 5 shillings. With a premium of 5 shillings. Determine the value of a call option and put option. Determine the value of a call option and put option. Determine the value of a call option and put option. As well as profit or loss. As well as profit or loss. Assuming the following prevailing market price. Assuming the following prevailing market prices. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. Those are the prevailing market prices. Now, I will begin with what we call the value of a call. And value of a call we say is the maximum of the MPS minus the exercise price, then you compare with what? 0. That is the value of a call. So that means these are our market prices, which is 20, minus our exercise price is that you compare with 0. Whichever is maximum. Are we together? Whichever is maximum is what will be our value of a call. And in our case is what? 0. Other one is on 25, 30, 0. So this is also 0. The other one is on what we call 30 what? 30, 30, 0. Maximum still 0. Then we also have 35, 30. You compare with 0, the maximum here is how much? Is 5. This is 40 minus 30. You compare with 0, which in this case will be how much? 10. And then 45 minus 30. Compare with 0. That means is what? 10. That is how we get the value of the call. What about the profit or loss? If we want to get the profit or loss, this is it. We take the value of the call minus the what? Premium. And therefore, in this case, we have 0 and minus 5. This will be negative. This is 0 minus 5, negative 5. 0 minus 5, negative 5. This is 5 minus 5, which is 0. And then 10 minus 5. This is 5. And then 15 minus 5. That is 10. That is on the good. Now, there is something that I want we understand here. There is what we call the concept of what we call the moneyness here. So there is what we call the concept of moneyness. Now, when you talk about concept of moneyness, we talk of it or we use the following term. We use in the money. We use at the money. And then we use what we call out of the money. So that is what we call the concept of money. Now, in this case, all that we talk of it as out of what? Out of money. So now here is at the money. So this is out of money. Money. We have at the money. The money, and this is in the money. In the money. Now, when we say that calls options are at the money, in the money, or out of money. Now, in this case, this is not what we mean. Basically, this is on derivatives, and this is what we say. A call is said to be, let me begin with in the money. If the option contract is expected to produce or generate cash flows that are more than in outflows. When I talk of cash flows, we're talking about the cash inflows and outflows. Basically, on this, we are looking at this. If the MPA, that is the market price per share, is greater than exercise price, then it means that the calls are in the money. If the market price is equal to exercise price, generally in that case, we say that the calls are at the what? And then when we talk of MPA being less than this, exercise price, then we say that they are at the what? Out of money, sorry. They are out of money. Generally, we are talking about the inflow and outflow. If the inflow in this case is greater than the outflow, then mean that it is in the money. If the inflow is less than the outflow, we are out of money. If they are the same, then we are at the what? At the money. Now, that is on that. Now, let's get to the put. We say that in this case is maximum of the exercise price minus the MPS. Then you compare with what? 0. So, and therefore, for this one, I'll just said 30 minus 20. 0. That means it is 10. This one is 30 minus 25, 0, that is 5. 30 minus 30, 0, that is 0. 35, 30 minus 35, 0, this is 0. 30 minus 40, 0, that is 0. And then 30 minus 45, 0. That means is 0. Means in this case, if we want to get a profit or loss, is the value of put option minus the premium. Value of put option minus the premium, where in this case, we'll check for the first one is 10 minus premium, which is 5. This is 10, 5 minus 5, 0. 0 minus 5, negative 5. 0 minus 5, negative 5. 0 minus 5 is equal to negative 5. This is 0 minus 5 is negative 5. So this means it is in the money. This is at the money. This is out of what? Out of money. That is out of money. That is out of money. Options pricing models. Options pricing models. Options pricing models. Options pricing models. Option pricing models. So in this case, we have two option pricing models. One is what we call a Black-Scholes model. Black-Scholes model. And number two is what we call the binomial model. Binomial Black-Scholes model. And then number two, we have what we call the binomial model. So let's begin with what we call the Black-Scholes model. Now this one was developed by a person we call the Myron Melton. Also, Myron Melton. As a person who came up with this model of option pricing. Right now, say this model is used. This model is used to derive their value. This model is used to derive the fair value of a call option. Fair value of call option. Say it is useful where the price at the end of the period. Say it is useful where is useful where the price at the end of expiry period, price at the end of expiry period, price at the end of expiry period can take continuous values, rather than true values. Can take the price at the end of expiry period can take continuous values rather than true values. Can take continuous values rather than true values. Wait and see. And at this method, the value of the call determined by value of the call determined by PND1 minus the exercise price exponential RT, then N2. N2, where get a D1, you get in price over the exercise price plus R plus R variance, then then you divide by the standard deviation square root of time. And then to get a D2 will just be given by D1 minus so P here is the price, the MPX. E is the exercise price. E is the exercise price. We have what? This is the exponential constant. Exponential constant. Then we have, this is the standard deviation. And in some cases, standard deviation, we talk of it as what? The volatility. Standard deviation is what we call the volatility. T, the time of the expiry, time to expiry, and in that expiry. Then what else? Yeah. R is a risk premium. Is the risk premium. So that is the how we get value of our call. Never, don't worry, the formula you'll be given. See, in some questions they give you the formula. So previously they have been giving you the formulas. So we can have an example. Now, remember here, when I talk of N here, N is a normal distribution. So the first key thing is for you to get the D1. We know the D1 is what will help you to get the what? The ND1. That is from the normal distribution table. That's how. Then the same case with D2, you'll have to get it, then go back to normal distribution table to get the D2. Now we do an example. We have an example. So in the sitting of April 2022, Was there question number April 2022, question 3D? April 2022, question 3D. April 2022, question number 3D. April 2023, 2022. This is question number 3D. So this is what will be given there, that current market price, ordinary shares of Kanga Limited is shillings 58. That is now what we call the spot price. A call option exists on the company's shares with an exercise price of 52, with 6 months to maturity. The option can be exercised on maturity. That is a European option. Now, this is when you get deeper in the derivatives. In derivatives, you realize there is what we call an American option, and there is what we call the European option. Now, for a European option, in this case, is when you are exercising a call. American option, basically on a put option. Now, the risk-free rate of return is 6%, and variance of rate of return, the shares, is 15%. You are required, using the Black and Scholes model, option pricing model, estimate the value of a call option. And we say the value of a call option is the spot price of the market price per share, ND1, exercise price exponential RT. This is then ND2, right? The first is to get D1. D1 we've seen is the in, right? Divided by the exercise price plus into brackets R. This is the R variance. That is variance. Then you multiply by T, by standard deviation, you multiply by the square root of T. So I will just begin here. In what is the market price per share? It is 50. What is our strike price or exercise price? 50, 52, right? Plus, what is our risk-free rate? Is 6 what? Is it 6%? So that would be 0.06 plus multiplied by variance. We've been given 15 what? 15% multiplied by time. Time is over much? Is 6. So that is 6 over 12, which is what? Let me just write here 6 over 12. Which is 0.5. Then you divide by, remember, variance is the square of what? Standard deviation, right? So meaning that if I take square root of 0.15, I will get the standard deviation. Then you multiply by the square root of what? Times 6 over 12. So this one you tell me in 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places. How much is it giving you? From this 6 over 12, you can just use 0.05. Yeah. 0.5. So how much is it giving you in 2 decimal places? And you know where you get in? N is in your calculator below there. Is it on? That is where we have in. So just start from here. Get a half of 0.15, you add 0.606, you multiply by 0.5. Say begin from here, 0.5 you multiply by 0.15 plus 0.06. Then you multiply by 0.5. You get the answer, equals, then you say in, or you can say answer plus in, into bracket 58 divided by 52, you close the brackets. Bracket 58 or 52, close the brackets. And then you divide by into bracket square root of 0.15 multiplied by the square root of 0.5, then you close the brackets. How much is it giving you? You've got a number? 0.65, about 0.16. You got the numbers? 0.0. So go to the normal distribution table now. So what will now be, this is our D1. So what will be our ND1? Yeah, this should be 0.65. Kama umepata 0.16, just repeat. So from the normal distribution table, then you go to 0.65. So, and now this one you have to be very keen on the table that you are doing what? I say the determinant is there. If you use the positive value or the positive Z value, what you get here is just what you write. Because this is positive. If you use the standard normal curve, I say to get 0.5, you are, because this is positive. You add what you get from there. So how much are you getting from there? 0.65. You have used which one? The standard normal curve. Inakupea ngapi? .4. 24. The main this is 0.7422, right? If you go to the positive, it will give you this direct because this is out. If you go to the positive Z value, you get that direct as 0.7422, right? I say positive is equal above what? 0.5. Now, that is ND1. Now we get D2, which is the D1 minus what we call the standard deviation square root of time. D1 is now what you've gotten at 0.6, right? I get the square root of 0.15 multiplied by square root of 6/12. That will give you how much? Also in 2 decimal places. In 2 decimal places. How much are you getting? Yes. In our pen, 0.3? Is it 37 or 38? Yeah, 37. So having that now, you go to the normal distribution table, you get that value. So what is the 0.37 on the normal distribution? On the normal distribution, ngapi? Zero point 1480. So this is 0.6480. So now we can get the value of the cone, which will be the MPX, ND1, 0.7422, minus the exercise price, which is 52, exponential RT, 0.02. Remote, yes?
We're going to first thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to left behind. The next thing, I know where the problem got in 0.14804. Yeah.
All right, and that is why you are in the class. The
Yes.
reason, the first thing, and I remember telling you, if you know I'm too fast, is better you raise your hand. What's up?
Yeah, just notice that you're left behind.
No, don't allow yourself to be left behind.
The first question.
Mhm. Yeah, that is why I'm saying, don't allow yourself to be left behind. If you see I'm too fast, raise your hand. Tell me, we just be able to proceed at your speed. Now,
That answer is 0.38. You need to take the answer.
0.3. 0 point. At the end of it, will give you the 7. Okay. Now, you have not understood where we got a 0 point. 1 point, this one. Up to this one, you are okay, right? So first I said we get the D1, right? Now, for us to get N, I said stand for the normal distribution. Come on. So you go to where we are on the normal distribution curve. And I said in this case, it will depend on what the examiner will have given you. Read that he has given you for the normal distribution for positive Z values. Or is it, he may give you on what we call the normal standard curve. Are we together? Now, if it gives you for what we call the positive Z values, know that in this case, you have gotten a positive 0.38. For the positive value, you go to where we have 0.38 direct. That is now what we give you the value. Angalia hivyo kwanza. On the positive value ni zenye ziko above 0.5. Lakini kwa exam watakuwa amekuandikia is a positive value. Sawa sawa. So those that are above 0.5, when you look at, you go to on the vertical side, you go to where we have 0.3, right? When the man is 0.3 equal. Then on horizontal, you go where we have 0.08, right? So when you look at that, how much is it giving you on the positive Z values? 8.64803. Imeongezeka 3 kwa nini? There are supposed to be 4 values. Yeah, they have given you in that. Okay. If you just put in that way, no problem. But it's 6480. See, that one is okay. That is when you use a what we call the positive Z value. Now, if you use what we call the standard normal curve, for the standard normal curve, you will add 0.5. Now, this is generally from what we call the normal distribution. There is what we call the positive relationship, and we have what we call the negative. On positive, we add 0.5, negative, you take 0.5, you less. So in our case, for this one, we just said 0.5 plus. You go for where we have 0.38 on the standard normal curve. Yeah, and that is why if I take 0.15 plus there, it will have to give you the same. I said the key thing is here and what we've been given. Yes?
Compute B1.
B1, and we're getting a different value.
0.16.
Haya, tuanze na ndio maana nasema tuende pamoja.
My question is this 6 over 12
is 0.5.
No problem. Is it the sum of is it the
Ni ya hii. Unaona mali iko kwa brackets. Bodmas.
Sasa
anza hapa.
1.5.
1.5 imeinuka.
0.15, yes. Times 0.5 is equal to 0.075.
Plus 0.06
is
equals
0.135.
Multiplied by 0.5
times 0.5 is 0.0675.
All right. Endelea tu. Let's into brackets.
8.
You make a bracket. 15 divided by 52 plus answer.
Inaleta 0.1767. The numerator is 0.1767.
Divide by into brackets.
So it's the square root of 0.15. Right?
Yeah, you multiply by the square root.
Square root of 0.5. Inaleta 0.6109.
Take your numerator, you divide by your denominator.
0.275.
Are you getting 0.65?
So the numerator, we agree the numerator is 0.675.
Yeah.
Then the denominator is 0.15, the square root of 0.15. Yeah. Plus
The times.
Oh, okay, sorry. So it's times. Sorry. Okay.
And this, see, this one I'm still repeating. Anywhere on our previous class. Now, and I also told you that we're still going to cover. Now, this one depends on the time, the table that you pick. If you are given a positive value, or you are given a standard normal, or they can give you for negative values. But in this case, in your exam, you'll never see for negative value. Now, this is what you have to be very keen on. They can only give you positive values or standard normal curve. Now, if they give you, let me just begin on the standard normal curve. Now, if they give you standard normal curve, and here you have gotten a positive value, the value that you get there, you'll add 0.5. Are we together? Now, if they give you a negative, the standard normal curve again, and what you have gotten here is a negative, you just take 0.5, you less the what you get here. positive unaongeza, negative you less 0.5. Kwa pamoja. Now, if they give you what we call the positive Z values, and what you have gotten here is a positive, then you just look it directly. Pamoja. If they give you positive Z value, what you've gotten here is a negative. I said there you just take 1 minus your answer. To kwa positive value, they are above 0.5. Pamoja. So 1 minus that answer. So note, if it is a normal standard curve, 0.5, here is positive, add the value. Here is negative, less the value. If it is a positive value, here you will get the value direct. If it's a positive, it's a negative 1 minus the value. That's it. Number 2 is about you using a calculator. Sasa hapa tunatumia tu code, sawa sawa. And I know I've seen most of you, they get a different value here. And the key is, if you know, putting all these values in your calculator once, it will give you a wrong value. Better to fanya hii ya kwanza unaandika. These are the one you write. Sawa sawa. Each one independent. Kwa pamoja. That will help you not to get a negative value. Now, so up to that point, I think everyone is okay. We can now proceed. All right. Now, James, you have gotten, or you are still lost? No, so we can now, using the formula. This will be 0.06. So I multiply by 0.5. Time is 6/12. That means it's 0.5. Then you multiply by what? NB2. So that will give you how much? Portion here on exponential. Exponential ukifinya kitu, then you place the exponential. Then in this case you don't have to put the power. Kwa pamoja. Kiangalia kwa exponential once you put the shift inakuanga imejiandika what? Exponential power x. So the only thing that you do, just put the power. Kwa pamoja. Just put the values. And within the week, which day are you not having a class? You just do a 1 class revision. Yeah. I'm talking about in the evening, because I do understand there are those who are doing. Tomorrow. Inakataa. See, we are doing another question, so don't worry. We are getting to that one.
the more reason I need to get back. Maybe the pattern.
Or the formula?
Formula, no problem with that. I can.
Mhm. How much have you gotten here? Those who are getting negative vote. Negative 20.40. Others are getting how much? 10.35, 10.347.
Let's shift and then exponential. Then we put the 0.06.
Yeah, this one you just, once you put the shift exponential into bracket this. That one is very correct. If you are getting a negative then. Yeah. Umepata hiyo? Yeah, that is the correct. We have gotten that. Let me just do another example. Tuone kama log ya understand. For the formula you are very much okay. The only issue is there on the normal distribution. Now example 2 we do from the sitting of November 2018, question 4A. November 2018, question 4A. A financial analyst is interested in using the Black Scholes model value call-ups on the stock. Information is available. We have the price of the stock, strike price, auction premium in 9 months. You also have the volatility of the returns of the stock, then the risk-free rate. I require the value of a call option using the black and white scores model. In this case, they haven't given you the formula. So value of a call, this is the spot price, and D1 minus exercise price exponential RT and D2, right? What is our P? What is our price? 35. What is our exercise price? What is our rate period? What is our standard deviation? The volatility. 0.30, right? We have also T is how many months? So it's 9/12, which will give you 0.75, right? Up to that point, we're okay. So let's begin with now getting D1. D1, we've seen this in price over the exercise flat. Variance, then T. Then you get the standard deviation, square root of what? E, right? So this will be in price is how much? 35 divided by 30 plus R is 0. What? 10% is 0.1 plus. We multiply by what is our variance? We just spare the standard word. Then I multiply by 0.75. Then we can divide by 0.3 square root of 0. So that is giving you how much? How much is it giving you? Zero point. You're getting out? Usianze kuogopa kusema. You got a numbers. In 2 days more price is 0.57. Is it that way? Or you've gotten a zero different value? A 1.01. And that's 1.01. You've got an ounce.
1.01.
Na mimi nitajua ni gani. 0.57, 1.01. Let me just say it 1. I go with my majority. 1.01. So now in your paper, do you have the table that was given there? Now the table that was given there was for positive Z value. So for the sitting of November 2018, they have given a table on positive Z value. And since this one was a positive, just look direct. Are we together? So what will be my ND1? This one I've said is from the table. From table. ND1 will be over. Using the, I've said you are using the positive values. Positive values. 3, 4. Umetumia Z positive. Ndio nawaambia mdifferentiate the table. 8, 4. 8, 4, 3, 7. Oh, fine. So that is 3, 8, huh? Right? Nilisema the table that is the values are above 0.5. That is the positive one. Sawa sawa. But if you use the normal curve, you had gotten 3 points, so you just add 0.5. It just give you the same. Sawa sawa. This one, I've used the table that was in the what? The exam. It was on positive values. And I say they will tell you. Like in our case, walikuwa wamesema the standard normal cumulative probability table. Cumulative probabilities for positive Z values. Sawa sawa. So since this is a positive, just look in directly from there. Sawa sawa. But if you use a standard normal curve, you'll add 0.5 from what you get. Hapo kuna shida bado ama tuendelee? It's okay. Now, D2 we said we get by taking what? D1, standard deviation square root of what? So this will be, D1 we've gotten 1.01, right? Minus, the standard deviation is of how much? 0.3, you multiply by the square root of 0.75. 1.34. That is what we've gotten there. Ama nimeambiwa 0.7. So from the table, you're also using the positive values. So ND2 will be equals to how much? 0.7, then you go 5. Given you how much? 0.77. Right? So any equation after that? Right. Now we can get our value of the content. B, which is the price 35, and the 0.8438. Exponential is over. I mean the exercise price is 30. Exponential 0.1 multiplied by 0.7. How much is they giving?
9.
You get in how much?
8.0,
8.0.
8.0.
That is how you get that. Now let's get to the second model. It's what we call the binomial model. Binomial model. And also take note of this. Now, in case of what we call the real option. Real option, we also use what we call the black and white model. The only difference is for you to know what is P and what is the exercise price. So in case of real option, yeah, when we talk of P here will be our present value curve, inflows, and this will be our present value curve. Awesome. In case of real options, the inflows will be our P, outflow will be our exercise what? Exercise price. Awesome. Yes? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We multiply by ND2. This is from the formula.
30 over.
Or ND2 is there. This is just written the answer here. Or you have not multiplied by ND2. Oh, I've gotten it. That is how it should be there. So as I say now, if they ask you, because even on the real option, they will tell you using the black and Scholes model. So in real options, present value cash inflow, present value cash outflow. That is there on the real options. When do you know what are the real options? Hmm? What are the real options? It's a question that was in the previous sitting. Question number 1. What was the question number 1A? You are to define the term of and using capital investment appraisal. Then number 2, you are to do what? Types of what? So what are the real options then? A real option is what? We talk of it as an investment. Also, real option is just an investment which gives the money right, but not obligation to expand, to withdraw, to any project. Is giving them to do the real option. There are around 5 options. Also, there is the option to expand, option to withdraw, option to do what? Option to abandon. Withdraw and abandon is just the same. Option to expand. Which in this case, those are now the types of real options. Where you have an option to expand the project and have an option to withdraw from the project, and this is then especially when you are experiencing what we call the capital limitations. Kwa pamoja, you are wait until you have money. The option to delay, option to delay the project. Those are the things that in this case we're talking about. Now, my concern is on the second model now, binomial model. Binomial model. Binomial model. That is a second model. Binomial model, you see. It's a model based on the assumption that is a model based on the assumption that there are only two assumptions, that there are only two prices. There are only two prices that will emerge. There are only two prices that will emerge at the expiry date. Only two prices that will emerge at the expiry date. At the expiry date of a project or an option. Expiry date of an option. Now, steps followed in the binomial. Steps followed. Steps followed. For one, you determine the option delta. One, determine the option delta. So to get the option delta, this will be given by a change in option value divided by change in share price. Change in option value by change in share price. That is what we call the option delta. Now, option value is just the value of a call. So as you know, the value of a call we see is the maximum of MPS and the exercise price you compare with what? Zero. So that is step number one. Step number one. Step number two. Step number two. Determine the present value. Determine the present value. Not the present. Determine the value first. Value of the portfolio. Determine the value of the portfolio. So this is how we get the value of the portfolio. We get the MPS, you multiply by the option delta. Then the value of option less the value of the option. Less the value of the option. Step number three. Step number three. Determine the present value. Present value of the portfolio. Determine the present value of the portfolio. So this will be given by now the value of the portfolio. multiplied by exponential negative RT. Exponential negative RT. The last one. Number 4, determine the present value of the option portfolio. Determine the present value of the option portfolio. Present value of the option portfolio. Now this one we just get it by checking the actual MBS multiplied by the option delta. Then you minus the present value of the portfolio. Present value of the portfolio. Step 2, I said you determine the present value. Determine the value of the portfolio was step number 2. Number 3 was the present value of the portfolio. This is the present value of the option portfolio. May 2015, option 3C. May 2015, option 3C. May 2015, question 3C. May 2015, question 3C. So a share is currently selling at shillings 120. There are 2 possible prices of the share after 1 year. It is 132 or 105. Remember, as we said, for the binomial, it assumes that there are only 2 prices that can emerge at the expiry of the So they assume that the risk-free rate of return is 9% per annum. You are required the value of a European call option with an exercise price of what? 125. So we begin with the step number 1. Look for what we call the what? Option delta. So option delta we said is the change in option value. Option value you divide by change in what? Share. So in this case, option value is a value of a call. And value of a call can be given by maximum of MPS minus exercise price. You compare with what? 0. So we have 2 prices here. Price can either be what? 130. What is our exercise price? 125. Then I compare with 0. That means the maximum is what? 7, right? This minus this you compare with 0. 7 is the max. The other price. Yeah. What 120. 120 is for the current. That is all the exercise price. So the other price can be 1 or what? Kwani mnasoma gani? Remember, there are only two prices that existing at the expiry date of our option, which is in our case is either equal 132 or 1 or what? Hmm? That one, they have used another question, but use 1 or 5. Just center that. That should be 1 or 5. So. Not that. It should be 132 or 145. And that in there another question. No, there is a question that is having that. Yes. So change that. It is 132 or 105. 132 or 105. So that is why I will take 105 minus 125, then I compare with 1. So this will be 0. So we can now get our option 1. Option delta. Our option delta here will be in option value 7 minus 0. Change in price 132 minus. In 4 decimal place. 4 decimal place. How much is it giving you?
Mm.
0.25 and step number 2, we have to get the value of the portfolio. And value of the portfolio I've said is the MPS multiplied by the option delta. Then you minus what we call the value of the option. So to get this, our MPS now, you just get the one that is giving you the maximum value. Out of these two, which is 7. So what is the MPS of 7? 132. That is now what will be our MPS there. I repeat, you look at the one that is giving the maximum value. So that means the price will be now the one with maximum value, which is 132. Option delta, we have 0.3. So then the value of that option is how much? 7. To give you how much? Yes. 20. 0.22. From there, we look for the present value of the portfolio. The present value of the portfolio, we've said is the value of the portfolio, which is now this value of the portfolio exponential RT. So this will be 27.2276 exponential R. R is of how much? What is our risk-free rate? Yes? That should be 9%. Change that. I've said change should be 9%. Yeah, it was 9% as per that question. 9%, not 19. And then the time is it a 1 year? So that is a whole year, 1. How much is it giving you? The risk-free rate should be 9%, so change on that. Yes? $24.884. And then the last one is the present value of the option watch. Portfolio. And the present value of the option portfolio, we say it will be given by the actual now, the actual MBS multiplied by the option delta. It's the present value. What was our actual MPS? It is currently trading at how much? On 20. 0.25 and 3, which is our option delta. Then I minus 24.88. That is now what will be the value. $6.23. That is how you get the point. That one okay? Yes. That is just following that format. Now the one that I was talking about for 30, it was on which week? May 2014 4D. May 2014 4D. So that one you can just try it at your own time. Right? You try that one at your own time, May 2014 4D. Because it has the same concept. Only difference is that we have been it for 6 months. Also, for 6 months, it will just be 6 over. So because you have to use per annum, 6 over 12. Now let's talk of what we call the theories of foreign exchange. Now for the other ones, sorry. Now for these other ones on options on futures, there is the forwards, and mainly on the theory. So So make sure that you go through the handout, as I've said, on the international financial management. I think I've included them there. Check on them on that. Mainly on the theory, understand what we mean when we talk about a future contract. What do we mean when we talk about the forward contract? What are the distinction between a forward contract and a future contract? And again, what are the types of the swaps? Generally, what do we mean when we talk about swaps? And what are the types of swaps? Yeah, make sure that you go through that. Now, let me just talk of the last part, which is generally on what we call the money market. Money market, which is now on what I'm calling the theories. Begin on the theories of. Still on the same. Theories of foreign exchange. It is generally from what we call the foreign exchange rates. So foreign exchange rates. Now, this is one of the very common questions. They will ask you to define as you look at the question of November 2020. Then it was there. Then November 2020. November 2020. Question 4A. You are to explain under the following terms used in the context of international parity conditions. Those are generally what we call the theories of foreign exchange. Number one is what we call the purchasing power parity. Purchasing power parity.
Hi, kindly adjust the camera.
Sorry. Purchasing power parity. Purchasing power parity. We can begin with this first. We talk of the second one. This is PPP. See, the theory says that. The theory states that. The theory states that the exchange rates. Theory states that exchange rates between two currencies. Exchange rates between two countries. Exchange rates between two countries are the same in equilibrium. The same in equilibrium. And the same in equilibrium. Exchange rates between two currencies are the same in equilibrium. I don't see under this theory are the same in equilibrium. Two currencies are the same in equilibrium. See, and now this theory, the key consideration is inflation rate. Inflation rate. See, it is expressed as follows. It is expressed as follows. So in purchasing power parity, SP, this stands for future expected spot rate, will be given by the current spot rate, 1 plus the inflation rate of the home currency over the inflation rate of the foreign what currency. So this one SP, the future expected for rate. When you talk of SO, current spot rate. When we talk about HC, inflation rate of home currency or in home currency, and HF, inflation rate in foreign currency. Number 2, what we call the interest rate parity. Interest rate parity. Interest rate parity. Same, under this theory, interest rate parity, say under this theory, the difference between the spot rate, the difference between the spot rate and forward rate, difference between the spot rate and forward rate, difference between the spot rate and forward rate, reflects the difference in interest rates, reflects the difference in interest rates, reflects the difference in interest rates. See, the theory predicts exchange rates based on, theory predicts exchange rates, theory predicts exchange rates based on the hypothesis, based on the hypothesis that the difference between two countries' interest rates, difference between two countries' interest rates, difference between two countries' interest rates should reflect interest rates should reflect the difference between the spot and forward rates, difference between the spot and forward rates, spot and forward rates over the same period, spot and forward rates over the same period. Is expressed as follows. Now, this is what we mean. To get the forward rate The only cause of the difference is the interest rate. So, and therefore we normally take the spot rate. 1 plus the inflation rate of the home currency, sorry, we use 8, and then 1 plus the inflation rate, the interest rate of the what? Foreign currency. So this is forward rates. SO is the spot rate. And then this is the interest rate. In home currency. Interest rate. In foreign currency. Interest rates in foreign currency. The last one, number 3, what we call the international features effect. International features effect. International features effect. The national features effect. See, according to this theory, according to this theory, the interest rate difference, between countries, is provided for on unbiased predictor of future exchange, in spot exchange rates. So basically, this is what we mean. So we just try to mean that this is the same as what? So, yes. So now let's now understand on aging. This one is now through doing the equations we do on May 2018 5C. Let's begin with that. May 2018 5C. May 2018 5C. May 2018 5C. May 2018, 5C. Kikumi Limited expects free cash flows. No, not 3C. Kikumi Limited expect to receive 750,000 euros from a credit customer in European Union in 6 months time. Now, in this case, what you need to understand is which is the home currency and what is our foreign currency. So in home currency to foreign currency will be borrowing. Pamoja. In home currency, you are depositing in your bank. Pamoja. Now, tuendelee. The spot exchange rate is 2.349 euros per United States dollar, and the 6-month forward rate is 2.412 euros per USD. Following commercial interests are available to Kikumi Limited. We have the euro, we have the USD. Kikumi Limited does not have any surplus cash to use in hedging future euro market, euro receipts. You are required. Evaluate whether the money market hedge or forward hedge would be prepared. Now, basically, is where it's going to receive more. Come on. So, is it the forward hedge or is it what we call the money market hedge? Now, for the forward hedge, it's very easy. You just exchange it using the current one, the 6-month one, forward hedge. Let me just begin here. The forward hedge. Now, which is our foreign currency here? Which is our home currency, foreign currency? And when I expect to receive, so meaning the foreign is euro, home currency is what? So this is now what we say. This is given in euro. What is our 6-month spot rate? We've been given 1 USD for how much? 2.12 euro, right? So that means now he's expecting to receive how many euros? 750 euros. So in forward age, he will receive how much? 750 divided by what? 750,000 you divide by 2.412 in that way. Is receiving how much? How many? Yes? The return 940 USD. 0.27. 27 USD. That is now in forward age. Now, in money market age. Now, in money market age, when you are aging receipts, this is how we do it. Aging receipts. The first thing you borrow in foreign currency. Foreign currency. But to convert the foreign currency into home currency. And this is at spot rate. Number three, you deposit into on bank account. That is what we do. What we do when we are aging what? Receipt, and this is in money. So the key thing, you borrow in foreign currency. At borrowing, so our foreign currency here is what? Euro. So we borrow in euros. Euros. So what is the borrowing rate for euro? It is 8 point. That is per annum. So in our case, we want for how many months? So 6. That will be 4%, right? Are we together? So in borrowing here, what we just do, you normally take, you are looking for what we call the present value. So you just normally take the amount. You multiply by 1 plus our borrowing, our negative one. So that one will be constant. You have to use it as negative 1. So if you are looking for the present value, the amount, 1 plus the borrowing rate, power negative 1, which in this case it will give us how much? It's giving you how much? 721. 153.8 euro. So now we do this. Step number 2, we convert into USD, right? This is at cost. So 1 USD at spot rate is 2.1. 3 watts. 49, right? So you ask yourself, this is 721.53. 153.85 euros. Is about that. Yes? You get your numbers? 8 or 307. Let me just submit here. On this side, clear. So our FPA is the remote. 307 004. Miandika vizuri. 0.62 USD, right? Then we deposit both deposits into US what? US bank. So what will be our deposit rate in US? It is 2. So that is per annum. So for how many months? 6 months. Will be 1. So here you just look for the future value. This amount, so it will be equals how much? B 307,004.62 1.01 or 1. You are just looking for the future. Yeah, I've said you are looking for the what? Present. In that case, it will give you how much? Yes, 310 074.67. So where is he receiving more? Upper and I receive 310.945. This is 310.074. So we should be prepared. The forward what? Rate. Is going to receive what? So now, here is going to receive more. And by doing that, you have the 7 months. Is it 7? By doing that, you get the 7 months. Is that okay? Another example. May 2017. Issue number 4B. May 2017, 4B. May 2017, 4B. May 2017, 4B. I've not used 1 year. I've used 6 months. That is why I was multiplied by 2%, 6/12. We haven't used for 1 year. It is 6 months. The rates here, they are not for the whole year. The rate are for how many months? 6 months. Now let's do that question in May 2017 4B. Biashara Limited is an import-export company based in Kenya. On January 2017, the company exported coffee worth $140,000 to the United States of America on a 5-month credit. On a 5-month credit. The exchange rates in the forex markets are expected to be as follows. On 1st January 2017, that is our what? Spot rate. So, yeah, the current price is the spot rate. On that 1st May 2017, we've been given there. Lending and borrowing rates in the two countries are as follows. BOTA will settle the outstanding amount on 1st May 2017 using interest rate parity. Build the 5-month forward rate as a 31st May 2017. So now we use the interest rate what? Parity. Now, interest rate parity, we will say to get the forward rate will be given by the what? Forward rate 1 plus the interest rate of the foreign currency, over interest rate of the foreign what? Foreign currency, right? So the first thing that we have to look for is the interest rate of the home currency, the interest rate of the foreign currency, right? So what is our interest rate of home currency? Home currency ni ngapi? Is 15%. Yes? 18. Yeah, in this one you are renting. So 18% is for how many? Is for the whole year. This is for 5 months. So you multiply by 5 over. So give you how much? 7.5%. What about for the foreign currency? What is the interest rate of the foreign currency? Yes, 10% you are borrowing. Therefore, 5 over 12. That will give us how much? Yes. You multiply by, you have said 15, not 14. No. If 14 imetolewa. Yes, I said in foreign you are borrowing, here you are renting or investing or deposit. So home currency you are either renting, investing or what? Deposit. Foreign currency you are borrowing. So the borrowing rate of the foreign currency is about 6 points. So with that now, we know our spot rate is how much? 100. So 1 plus 0. Home currency 0.75 divided by 1 plus 0.0625. That will give you how much? Will give you how much? 101.18. That is our foreign. So that is, I mean, $1 is equals to how many Kenyan shillings? 101. That is our the forward rate. Now we go to Roman number 2. Devise Biashara Limited on whether, on which is the better hedging strategy between the forward and what? And the money. So we begin with the forward. So already we know the rate here. Forward hedge is 1 USD is equals to how many Kenyan shillings? 101.18, right? Now you ask yourself, is expecting to receive 140,000 USD to be how much? So in forward age, you will receive how much? Or multiply. Here you are multiplying. So receiving how much?
What's it?
13,
14 bucks.
14,
Yeah.
165, 200. Kenyan what? That is what you will be able to receive. Go to now money market age. On money market. Money market age. So we say the first thing is we borrow in what? In US dollar, right? Yeah, we've said you just look for the present value, so it will be 140. What is the borrowing rate on the foreign currency? Yes, rate. This is the interest rate in foreign. So that is still 6.1 for the 5 months. 6.25. Then say this one for negative what? Yeah, 1. That one is a constant. So it will give you how much? How much? One that one. 764.71 euros. So we also say we convert into own currency, that is into Kenyan note. Shillings at what rate? So this will be 1 USD is how many Kenyan shillings? Is 100. Spot rate I seen is as the start, which is January. Therefore, now we have in 131,764.71 USD. Giving you how much? Yes. 13. 764. 710. Right? Kenyan shillings, right? Is it that way? 131.7. So hapa ni kwa kuongeza 0.1. 131, 764, 710. That way.
That's still 0.1.
7. Okay, right. So this is Kenyan. So then from there we say we deposit into our bank account. Here we will deposit in our what? Kenyan bank. And that is the renting rate, which is the deposit rate here. So this will be, we get the future, so it will be 191,764.71. So this is yes, you multiply by 1.07 power 1. Yeah, just that is also a constant one. Just looking for that. That is giving you how much? Yeah, spot rate is the price as the current, when in this case it was issuing the money. That is a spot rate. When in this case it was exporting, the current price as of that rate is what we call the spot rate. This is how much? Yes, 14,164. 706.3. So where is the receiving more? In this case, forward should be off. Forward is fine. Or you can see the best agents for each. Ghost is going to receive more, right? Another one question, May 2019. Remember, this is one of the questions that is always there in each and every word. Sitting. So hata ukose kusoma uachane nayo. Tapatana tu. So May 2019 would be question number 4A. May 2019, 4A. May 2019. Okay. So now this is what we've been given there. That Kanzega Limited is a Kenyan company with a substantial proportion of its trade with companies in the United States. Zenga invoice US firm $60,000 receivable 3 months from now. Additional information. Borrowing rate is 3% above the bank rate. The investing rate is 2% below the Kenyan, below the bank-based rates. These rates apply both in Kenya and United States. Bank-based rates in Kenya and the US are 15%, 10% per annum, respectively. The exchange rates in forex market between the Kenyan shillings and the United States dollar are as follows. Being given the spot exchange rates, 1 month foreign exchange forward rates, and 3 months forward exchange rates. calculate the amount to be received by Kanzega Limited using the forward contract or the what? Money market aids. Forward contract or what we call the money market aids. I'll just begin with the forward contract. So for the forward contract, 1 USD is equals to how much? Is 101 to 102. You use the higher value. So that means is how many Kenyan shillings? So tumepewa 3 months. Remember, is 3 months in 3 months time. Sindio? Therefore, we're going to use the 3 months forward rate. And I've said in this case, you use the higher what? Higher value, which is 102. So that means he's expecting to receive how much? It's USD. So in this case, what is the amount here? Yes? 120,000 that way. Kenyan shillings. That is what you'll be able to receive. What about the money market? No, in this case, ndo zikuwe na kazi mingi. Just come here, have deposit rate, which is the deposit is the investment rate. So. And then you also have the borrowing rate. You look for both of the two currencies. Tuanze na ya Kenya. So we were told that on additional information number 1, kuna Kenya na USA pamoja. So additional information number 1, borrowing rates is 3% above the bank what? Base rates. Ndio. Ole kumaanisha ya Kenya itakuwa ya ngapi? If the bank base rate in additional information number 2 is 15. Ya Kenya itakuwa ya ngapi? 18%. Ndio. And the other one it will be 13. Ndio. Is above 3% above the bank base rates. And bank base rates you've been given on additional information number 2. For Kenya is 15 and US is how much? Tuendelee the same statement. Investing rate is 2% below the bank what? So maanisha ya Kenya itakuwa ngapi? 15 minus 2, right? Which is 13. And this other one will be 8%, right? So now from there, we can now do the aging. We borrow in USD. So what will be our rate here? What is the borrowing rate in USD? So it is 13%. And this is for how many months? 3 months. How much is it giving you? $3.25%. Yeah, I've said you look for the present value. So it will be 60,000, 1.0325 or -1. We give you 58. $58, 111. 111.38 USD. we convert in to Kenyan shillings at spot rate. So 1 USD is equals to how much? We were given the spot rates, which was the highest is 1 Kenyan shillings. So you last yourself 58. 111.38 USD is equals to how much? So that will give us how much? And now multiply by 105. Yes,
611,
6
111,
101,
694.
694.9. These are Kenyan. So we deposit into a Kenyan note. Into Kenyan bank. So that is the investment rate. So our rate in this case will now be how much? In Kenyan bank. Deposit rate of Kenyan bank will be. Yes. Yeah, in Kenya it said you are deposit. Yeah, you are borrow. Okay, but this is the Kenyan rate. So 3/12 will still remain as 3.5. So we said we look for the future. So it's 6101. 694.9. That is 1.0325. 1. It is giving you how much? Ya kupea ngapi? Yes? 6. 2.
299,
Mhm.
999.
Kenyan shillings. So which is preferred? Where is receiving note more, and therefore the money market rate should be preferred. Now I want to do now one last question. Then this one was asked in a different way. November 2018. The last one, November 2018. November 2018. Question number 3B. 3B. November 2018. Question 3B. November 2018. Question 3B. Hello. That is the last question. So Sigili Investment Limited is a company based in Kenya. Company exported goods on credit to a farm in the United States of America. The company expects to receive US 800,000 in 1 year time. However, Sigili Investment Limited created a probability distribution for forward spot rate in 1 year as follows. Being given the probability forward spot rates. Additional information, 1 year put options on the US are available with an exercise price of 63 and a premium of 4 shillings per US. Also being given 1 year call option are available on the US with an exercise price of shillings 60 and a premium of 3 US. Then the future spot rate is estimated in a year's time to be Kenya shilling 62 for 1 US. Following are the money market annual rates being given for Kenya, and we have also been given for USA. You are required. Determine whether a forward market age, money market age, or currency option age would be most appropriate aging strategy for the company. With the most appropriate aging strategy for the company. November 2018. It's in question 3. So now we begin with the forward one. Forward age. So the forward age. So for the forward age, we've been given them in probability. So we need to get the expected one. Forward age. Expected forward age. So what will be our expected forward age? We get the summation, which in this case, the first one was how much? 61 multiplied by 0.2. The second one, 63 multiplied by 0.5. Last, this other one was 67 multiplied by 0.3. 0.3. How much is it giving you? Yes? 63.8. That means 1 US is Kenya shillings what? 63.8, right? So the last account is expecting to receive 800,000 USD. So there will be how much? Kwangapi. Yes, 1,040,000. That is what we'll be able to get there in Kenyan students. Go to money watch. Money market age. In money market age, we borrow in what? In USD. It will be 800,000. What was the borrowing rate in USD? So it's 1.12. This is per annum. Remember, it was 1 year. Power -1 will give you how much? How much? 714, 5.7. This is in USD. Convert into Kenyan shillings. What? So 1 USD is how many Kenyan shillings at spot rates? Current spot rate we were given as how much? This thing. That means we take 714,285 USD. 0.7 USD. Which in this case it will give us how much? Yes, 42, 142.8 million shillings. And then we deposit into a Kenyan bank. So this is a deposit rate, 42,857. 142.8. 1 point. So what is the deposit rate of Kenya? It's 9, right? So 0.9. Oh, you know the future. It's giving you how much? It is giving you how much? What is it? 714 to 5.7. So that is now what you'll be able to receive. Now, in option, currently option, here we have to, you have to differentiate on whether you are going long or you are going short. So I said going long is what we call the ni kununua, kuna kununua na kuuza. Sawa sawa. And I say going long is buying, going short you are selling. Pamoja. Are we together? And when you are selling is when you do what? We talk of put option. So buying is a call option. Pamoja. So that will tell you what you have to use. Is it a put option? Is it the call option? In our case, what are we doing? No. Where? Cynical export, you will export. Yeah. So that means we need to know the value of the food. So I left the premium. So we were told that the exercise price in this case was of how much? 63. So I've just said 63 minus 4. That means the value of the put is how much? 15. So this is now what will be our exchange rate. 1 USD is equal to Kenyan shillings 59. So you leave it. How much? Is it 800,000? USD will be equal to how much? 800,000 USD will be equals to how much? $14? That's a device. Which is the best agent suited? Out of the three, which is our best agent strategy? New Mariana receive more money, which is it? 1.8. Awesome. That is where he's receiving more. Now, Roman number 2, you are to advise the prospective investor on the most profit aging strategy if no aging to what? Yes. When we talk of no aging, we mean that you just convert the amount during that time. So what you need to know is what will be the exchange rate after how many months? After 1 year. So what we call the future exchange rate. So if no aging, what is our spot rate? Future spot rate, no aging. Yes? 52. No aging, 1 US is trading at Kenya shillings what? 62, right? No aging, 162. So you'll ask yourself, 800,000. What are received shopping? 49. So if no aging, which is the best aging strategy? 16 is the point. Yeah, so that is how you are to get those 10 marks. That marks the end of that topic and that class. Unless there is any question. Kunayo swali? Now, as you revise, know this. Make sure that you read on this delivery. Now, that is a question that is always there. Same case, what we call the portfolio risk and CAPM. In most of the questions, you will find it covering at most 30%, at least 20%. Portfolio and CAPM. Same case to mergers and acquisition is also another thing that never misses in each and every sitting. And then the risk analysis in capital budgeting. Read on that. Don't forget about the theory. At times I say, you go kwa jazz. Yes. Remember, sitting, do things. Ezo enda upatane na zile ngumu zaidi. Pamoja. But itakusaidia. If you do 2 questions and then you do the theory, then at the end of it, you'll be able to manage. So any question? I've said that we plan for a class. Tomorrow I'm having a class at that time in the evening. But it's still an AFM class. Okay, don't know what we're going to do. Tuesday.